Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people speak English so naturally, so confidently, like it just flows, while others keep struggling, even after years of study? I was one of those people who struggled. I studied English for years. I knew the grammar. I memorized vocabulary. I passed exams. But when it came to speaking, real, natural, confident speaking, I froze. I paused too much. I couldn't sound fluent. Until I found this one simple method. It's not about learning more words. It's not about grammar drills. It's not even about conversation partners. It's something different. It's called shadowing. And I did it for 7 days straight. What happened? It changed everything. My fluency improved. My pronunciation became clearer. And for the first time, English started to feel natural, like a rhythm in my body, not just words in my head. In this video, I'm going to take you on the same 7-day journey I took, step by step. Here's what you'll learn in each chapter. Chapter 1. What is shadowing? I'll explain what shadowing really means and why it works better than traditional speaking practice. Chapter 2. How to start. Day 1 setup, what tools you need, how to choose the right audio, and how to start even if you're shy or unsure. Chapter 3. Fixing the mistakes most people make. Avoid the 3 biggest shadowing mistakes that kill your progress. Chapter 4. The 7-day method. My daily routine. I'll share my exact 15-minute daily routine. You can copy it word for word. Chapter 5. Results you can feel. I'll show you how I sounded on day 1 versus day 7. The difference? Shocking. Chapter 6. How to keep going after 7 days. You'll learn how to turn this into a long-term habit without burning out. So stick with me till the end, because if you do this with me for 7 days, I promise, your English will sound different. Your confidence will feel different, and people will notice. Let's begin. Chapter 1. My broken English and the frustration. Begin with a sincere, personal tone. Speak slowly and clearly, with emotion. Let me take you back to a moment I'll never forget. I was in a coffee shop. A foreign tourist asked me, "Hey, do you know where the bus station is?" Simple question, right? But my mind went blank. I wanted to say, "Go straight and turn left at the market." But all that came out was, you go, bus, left." The tourist smiled politely, nodded, and walked away. And I sat there, red in the face, feeling like I had failed again. I had studied English for years. I knew grammar rules better than most native speakers. Present perfect? Easy. Conditionals? No problem. But when it came to speaking, I struggled. I spoke slowly. I forgot simple words. Every conversation felt like walking through thick mud. Heavy. Awkward. Embarrassing. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever known what to say in your head, but when it's time to say it out loud, your tongue freezes, or your accent makes you feel self-conscious? Or worse, you say nothing because you're afraid of sounding wrong? If that's you, then I get it, because that was me. And here's the craziest part. At that time, I thought I was doing everything right. I had my grammar books. I watched English lessons on YouTube. I even made flashcards with vocabulary words. But there was one thing I wasn't doing: speaking out loud. Every day, I was a silent learner. I understood English, but I couldn't speak it. And that's a mistake most English learners make, especially at the beginning. We think we need to know more before we say more. We wait to be ready. But that day never comes. Until one evening, I came across something called shadowing. Now I know what you're thinking. What is that? Shadowing? Like a spy movie? Not quite. Here's what I learned. Shadowing is hearing and repeating immediately, like a shadow. No pausing, no stopping, no writing. Just listening and repeating out loud at the same time as closely as possible. Like an echo, like you're following the speaker's voice, word for word, breath for breath. It sounded weird. Honestly, it even felt silly at first. But something about it made me curious. Could this really work? Could I train my brain and my mouth to speak naturally? Just by copying native speakers? Not reading books. Not memorizing rules. Just repeating. It felt too simple. But at that point, I had nothing to lose. So I said, okay, let's try this for 1 week. Just 7 days. No pressure. No grammar books. Only one thing. Shadowing. Every single day. And let me be real with you. Day 1 was hard. I'll talk more about that in the next chapter. But right now, I want to ask you something. What if the reason your English feels stuck isn't because you're not smart enough? Not because you need more grammar. Not because you need more vocabulary. But because you've never trained your mouth to move like an English speaker? Shadowing is not a miracle. It's a method. It doesn't just teach you English. It teaches you how to speak English. That first day, as I listened to a podcast and tried to repeat along, I stumbled. I mumbled. I couldn't keep up. I even laughed at myself. But something inside me shifted. I wasn't just studying anymore. I was practicing. Like an athlete practices movement. Like a singer practices pitch. Like a dancer practices steps. And for the first time, I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing all along. Shadowing wasn't just another trick. It was the missing piece. The thing I never learned in school. The thing nobody talks about enough. And after just one session, I thought, that felt different. I didn't think it would work. But then, day 1 happened. And what happened next? That's where everything began to change. Chapter 2. What is shadowing and why it works? Begin with a calm and encouraging tone, like a friend explaining something powerful. So, after that first awkward day, I asked myself a question. What exactly is shadowing? And why does it feel so different, so powerful? Let me break it down for you in the simplest way possible. Shadowing is this. Listen to natural English and speak along with it immediately. That's it. You don't wait. You don't pause. You don't take notes. You listen, and you speak at the same time as the audio. It's like becoming the speaker's shadow. You copy their words. You copy their tone. You copy their rhythm, their speed, even their emotion. Imagine watching a movie and speaking every line the actor says, right as they say it. Not just what they say, but how they say it. That's shadowing. Now you might be thinking, wait, how is that even helpful? Isn't that just copying? Exactly. And here's why that's brilliant. Think about it. How do babies learn a language? They don't study grammar books. They don't make vocabulary lists. They listen a lot. Then, they copy what they hear. They repeat sounds, mimic voices, copy intonation, without understanding everything. And over time, their brain and tongue begin to sync. Suddenly, the baby is speaking. Naturally. Confidently. Shadowing is the closest thing to that. It's like giving your brain and your mouth a gym session. Not for theory, but for real-life speaking. Let me explain what happens when you shadow. Your listening improves. You're forced to pay close attention to every syllable, every sound. You hear the music of English, not just the words. Your pronunciation gets better. You're not just reading silently or guessing how words sound. You're copying real native speech, which means your mouth learns the right shape, the right flow. Your speaking confidence grows. When you speak aloud every day, fear slowly fades. You start hearing yourself speak fluent phrases. You stop hesitating so much. And the best part? You don't have to understand every word to start. You just start. You follow. You repeat. You speak. At first, you'll stumble. You'll mix up words. You'll speak slower than the audio. That's normal. That's part of the process. But keep going. Because I remember the first time I shadowed a simple phrase from a podcast. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I heard it. I said it with the speaker. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And something strange happened. My tongue moved differently. I didn't think about grammar. I didn't stop to translate. It just came out. Smooth. Clear. Natural. It felt like I was stepping into a new version of myself. The fluent version. Not perfect, not fast, but finally on the path. Now let's talk about how to do this, even if you're a beginner. Start simple. Pick a short audio clip, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. It could be a line from a movie, a podcast intro, or a video with subtitles. For example, "Good morning. How are you today? Can I help you with something?" That sounds like a great idea. Listen once. Then play it again, and this time, speak along. Try to match the speaker exactly. Do it again and again. You're not just memorizing the words. You're building muscle memory in your mouth. Just like learning to play a song on the piano or practicing your basketball shot. Shadowing trains your speaking reflex. Now here's something that surprised me. After 3 days of doing this, just 10 to 15 minutes a day, I caught myself thinking in English. Not translating, but thinking. Phrases started to flow in my mind. And when I spoke, I didn't pause as much. I couldn't believe it. It felt like my brain and my mouth were finally becoming friends. Not perfect, but in sync. For so long, English felt like something outside of me, a subject I had to study. But now, it was starting to feel like something I could live in, something I could use. And that gave me hope. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're tired of studying and not seeing results, try shadowing. Not for 3 months, not for 30 days. Just try it for 1 day. Pick a sentence. Speak with it. Repeat. Be the shadow. And don't worry if it feels strange. That means it's working. You're waking up the part of you that was silent for too long. In the next chapter, I'll show you exactly how I set up my first shadowing routine, the tools I used, what I listened to, and how I pushed through the awkward start. Because day 1 is tough, but it's also the most important. Stick with me. Your fluency journey is just beginning. And trust me, if I can do this, so can you. Let's move into Chapter 3. Chapter 3. The first 3 days. What I noticed I decided to try shadowing for 7 days. I told myself, just 10 to 15 minutes a day. No pressure. No need to be perfect. Just speak with the audio and see what happens. I chose a podcast, a simple one with slow, clear English. Day 1. Let me be honest with you, it was a mess. I pressed play, and within 5 seconds, I was behind. I tried to copy the speaker, but my mouth couldn't keep up. They said, "Thanks for joining us today. We're excited to bring you another great episode." And I said, "Thanks for join. We're exa." I was stumbling, mumbling, missing words. It felt like trying to sing karaoke in a language I barely knew. And then, I laughed. I actually laughed out loud. Because I realized how strange I sounded, but also how alive I felt. I was finally using my English. Out loud. In real time. And it wasn't perfect, but it was real. Day 2. I woke up excited. Not because I was suddenly fluent. No, far from it. But because I had felt something on day 1. So I picked a shorter clip this time. just one sentence from a video. I didn't see that coming. I played it. I said it. And something strange happened. I started copying the emotion. The speaker said it with surprise and a little sarcasm. So I tried to match it. I didn't see that coming. Again, I didn't see that coming. And suddenly, I was feeling the language. Not just saying the words, but expressing them. That's when I realized shadowing isn't just about pronunciation. It's about performance. You're practicing the music of English, the attitude, the flow. Day 3. This was the breakthrough. I decided to shadow a short scene from the show Friends. Very fast, very real. It was a scene where Chandler makes a sarcastic joke. Classic Chandler. At first, I couldn't keep up, but I paused the scene, repeated it slowly, and then shadowed it again in real time. And for the first time ever, I understood the speed. Not every single word, but the general rhythm, the meaning, the feeling, and even better, I was able to copy the sarcasm, his tone, his pauses, his little smile in the voice. It felt amazing. I wasn't just learning English anymore. I was living it, even if just for a few seconds. But let me be clear, these 3 days weren't all smooth. My mouth got tired, seriously tired. You don't realize how lazy your tongue has become until you make it move like a native speaker. Certain sounds felt unnatural. TH sounds. The fast contractions like gonna or wanna. Linking words like gimme that or let me go. But here's the surprising part. I liked it. It was like a workout for my mouth and my brain. It was hard, but it was real, and it was working. Because by day 3, I noticed something huge when I listened to native speakers. I could hear more. Not just words, but the flow, the little pauses, the emotions. It was like I had cleaned my ears. My brain was starting to expect English, and my mouth was starting to respond. Here's what I learned from the first 3 days. Shadowing is not magic. You won't wake up fluent. But it's practice, and it's powerful practice. You'll struggle. Your tongue will trip. You'll say things wrong. You'll feel silly. But you'll grow fast. Because you're not just learning about English. You're doing English. And that makes all the difference. If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever wondered why your speaking doesn't match your understanding, then maybe it's time to stop just studying English and start training it with your whole body, with your voice, with your rhythm. That's what shadowing gives you. So by day 3, I was hooked. It wasn't easy, but it was fun. It was active. And every time I finished a session, I felt more confident. I could hear the words more clearly. I could feel my English becoming more natural, little by little. And I knew, if just 3 days could give me this much progress, what could 7 days do? In the next chapter, I'll show you exactly how I created my daily routine, what I listened to, how I structured it, and how I made it work even on busy days. Stick with me, because now the real momentum begins. Let's go to Chapter 4, How Shadowing Builds Speaking Confidence. Begin with a calm, reflective, but excited tone. By day 4, something really interesting started happening. I began to speak without fear. Not perfectly, not fluently like a native speaker, but I was no longer hesitating, no longer overthinking every word. And for the first time, I liked the sound of my own English. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how shadowing builds real speaking confidence from the inside out. First, here's the truth. Confidence doesn't come from knowing more words. It comes from being able to use what you already know, smoothly, clearly, and without freezing. That's what shadowing does. Because shadowing isn't just a listening exercise. It's a full-body workout. Your brain is hearing, processing, and predicting. Your mouth is moving, syncing with native rhythm. Your voice is learning to express emotion, tone, and flow. And when those things connect, brain, mouth, and voice, something amazing happens. You stop thinking so much. You just speak. Let me use a metaphor. Shadowing is like dancing. When you first learn a dance, you count every step. Point 1-2-3, 1, 2, 3. You're stiff. You look at your feet. You overthink every move. But after some practice, what happens? You feel the music. Your body just knows where to go. You move in rhythm without counting. Shadowing is the same. At first, you copy word by word. You miss things. You fall behind. But over time, your mouth begins to move with the music of English. You speak in phrases, not in single words. You match tone, not just grammar. You don't just say English, you feel it. That's fluency. Not perfect grammar. Not fancy vocabulary. But natural, confident rhythm. Now let's get a little practical. Here are a few shadowing tricks that help me build confidence faster. And I know they'll help you too. Use subtitles. At first, start with videos or podcasts that have subtitles. Read along while you shadow. This helps your brain connect sound and spelling, especially with fast or unclear words. But don't rely on subtitles forever. After a few days, try without them. Challenge your ears. That's how your listening grows. Slow the audio speed. Most learners try to shadow native speed from day one. That's too hard and frustrating. Use YouTube's playback speed tool or apps like Audacity. Try shadowing at 80% speed first. Then move to normal speed when you feel more comfortable. It's better to shadow slowly and clearly than quickly and sloppily. Record yourself. This one changed everything for me. Record your shadowing practice, even 10 seconds. Then, play it back and compare your version to the native speaker. It's not about judging, it's about noticing. You'll hear where you're too slow, where your tone is flat, where your pronunciation drops. And here's the fun part. After just a few days, you'll notice something else, improvement. You'll hear your voice sounding more natural. Your pauses will shrink. Your confidence will grow because you have proof that it's working. Use emotion, not just words. One thing I loved about shadowing is how it helped me express emotion. If a speaker was excited, I spoke with energy. If they were sarcastic, I copied their attitude. If they whispered, I whispered. This built a skill that most learners never practice: intonation. It made my speaking sound more alive, more like a human, not a textbook. And when I heard myself sounding real, I believed in my voice. Here's the truth I want you to take from this chapter. You already have the knowledge. Shadowing helps you unlock it. You already have the words. Shadowing helps you say them with flow. You already have a voice. Shadowing helps you trust it. When I started shadowing, I was still learning, still making mistakes, still nervous sometimes. But something changed deep inside. I stopped hiding. I no longer avoided conversations. I didn't freeze when someone asked me a question in English, because my brain had started trusting my mouth, and my mouth had started trusting my voice. It didn't happen overnight, but every session added a brick to my foundation. And with each brick, my confidence grew stronger. So if you're watching this and thinking, "But I'm not ready to speak yet," let me say this to you clearly. You are. You don't need more grammar first. You don't need to wait until you're perfect. You just need to start shadowing. Copy the rhythm. Copy the sound. Copy the emotion. Do it every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And soon, you'll notice it too. Your English won't just sound better. It'll feel better. That's real confidence. In the next chapter, I'll show you how my voice sounded on day 1 and how it sounded after just 7 days. The transformation was real, and you'll hear it with your own ears. Let's keep going, because now it's getting exciting. Chapter 5. Mistakes people make with shadowing. Now give them real value by protecting them from common errors. Some people repeat too slowly. Some just read subtitles, not listen. Some only shadow once and expect results. Explain that it's okay to repeat the same video many times. It's okay to pause and try again. Shadowing is not performance. It's training. Give them the rule. Repeat until your brain gets bored. That's when your mouth is learning. Make it fun, light. Share a mistake you made and how you fixed it. Spike. Honest advice and encouragement, so they trust your guidance. Chapter 6. Do this for 7 days. A simple plan to follow. Begin with a tone that's calm, confident, and energizing. Okay, you've made it this far. You've learned what shadowing is, how it works, how it builds fluency and confidence, and you've seen what it did for me. Now it's your turn. Because information is good, but transformation only happens when you take action. So let's create a simple plan. Something you can follow for the next 7 days. No confusion, no overwhelm. Just one goal. To make your English sound more natural, more confident. And to feel it in your brain, in your voice, and in your daily life. The 7-day shadowing plan. This plan takes only 10 to 15 minutes per day. You don't need a teacher. You don't need special software. You just need a phone, your voice, and a few minutes of focus. Let's break it down. Step 1. Choose your audio wisely. Pick one source of native English audio. Something short. This could be a scene from your favorite TV show, Friends, The Office, Modern Family. A YouTube interview with clear subtitles, a podcast or speech with a transcript, even a TED Talk. Choose a clip with good emotion and pacing. The key is, keep it short and real. Aim for 30 seconds to 1 minute of content. Yes, just that. Why? Because the goal isn't to do more. It's to go deeper. To master one scene by the end of the week. Like an actor practicing a script. Step 2. Day-by-day routine. Here's exactly what to do for each of the 7 days. Day 1. Listen and understand. Play the clip 3 to 5 times. Read subtitles or transcript while you listen. Try to understand the meaning, tone, and context. Highlight any new words or phrases. Day 2. Slow shadowing. Slow the audio to 75 to 80% speed. Try to speak with the speaker at the same time. Don't worry if you fall behind. Focus on sound and flow, not perfection. Day 3. Phrase practice. Break the clip into small parts. One sentence or phrase at a time. Pause, repeat, shadow, rewind. Practice pronunciation, emotion, and rhythm. Day 4. Full speed shadowing. Try shadowing at normal speed. Record yourself. Compare your voice to the original. Don't judge, just notice. Day 5. Repeat and refine. Shadow the same clip again. Pay attention to details. Rising/falling tone. Pauses, stress. Try to sound like you're acting in a movie. Day 6. Speak without audio. Play the clip once, then pause. Say it yourself from memory. Then play it again and shadow. You'll notice how much you've internalized. Day 7. Final shadow plus celebrate. Shadow the full clip once at slow speed, once at full speed. Record it. Compare it to your day 1 version. Feel the difference and celebrate. What to expect? Let's be clear. You won't become fluent in 7 days. But here's what you will notice. Your mouth moves faster and more smoothly. You begin to feel English, not just study it. You'll hear yourself sounding more natural, more expressive. You'll stop hesitating on common phrases. And most importantly, you'll believe in your voice. This is what shadowing does. It gives you a real experience with the language. It teaches your brain and mouth to work together. You stop translating. You start flowing. Final motivation: why this works. Most learners spend years studying but avoid using their voice. They wait until they feel ready. But let me tell you something. Speaking makes you ready. Shadowing trains your voice before the real conversation starts. You become faster, clearer, more confident. And day by day, you stop being afraid of English. You start to enjoy it. I remember finishing my first 7 days and listening back to my recordings. I didn't sound perfect, but I sounded real. I could hear improvement. I could feel that shift inside me, from someone who learns English to someone who lives it. And that changed everything. So here's the promise. If you do this for 7 days, you will sound more natural. You will feel more confident. Your brain will thank you. Your mouth will thank you. You won't be perfect, and that's not the goal. The goal is to start sounding like the person you know you can become. So pick your clip. Press play. Be the shadow. And don't stop until you feel the change. Because I'm telling you from experience, shadowing changed my English. I truly believe, if you try it, it can change yours too. Call to action: if this video helped you understand shadowing and gave you the confidence to finally speak English out loud, give it a like. It lets me know that you're finding value and helps this video reach more learners like you. And if you're ready to start your own 7-day shadowing journey, comment below. I'm starting today. Let's build a community of learners who support each other, one voice at a time.